Malcolm Turnbull urged to sack Health Minister Sussan Ley over New Year trips to the Gold Coast. Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull has no choice but to dump Health Minister Sussan Ley, the opposition has said, following new revelations taxpayers funded 2 trips to the Gold Coast, where she celebrated New Year. Labour has continued to call for Sussan Ley to step down after buying a property on a taxpayer-funded trip. Ms. Ley was already in hot water for claiming travel entitlements for a May 2015 trip to the resort city, where she impulse purchased a $795,000 apartment from a Liberal Party donor. On Sunday, Ms. Ley apologized for slugging the taxpayer with her travel expenses for that trip, calling the move an error of judgment. She also agreed to pay back the costs. However, on Monday it emerged the 2015 trip was not the only Gold Coast sojourn for which Ms. Ley has claimed expenses. Between 2013 and 2016, the minister traveled to the city on 17 occasions, costing the taxpayer more than $40,000. The Daily Telegraph cross-referenced those trips against publicly available information regarding her ministerial duties, such as appearances, media releases and speeches, but could not find any evidence of official business on 9 occasions. These unaccounted-for trips cost taxpayers some $20,000. Ms. Ley visited the Gold Coast on New Year's Eve in both 2013 and 2014. On the first trip to ring in the new year, she billed the taxpayer $575 in airfares from her electorate in Albury to the Gold Coast and $335 in taxi fares. A year later, $269 worth of air tickets from Sydney to the tourist Mecca also came from the public purse. The minister did not charge any accommodation costs to the taxpayer. Speaking on ABC Radio on Monday morning, Shadow Health Minister Catherine King said it was time for Ms. Ley to depart her portfolio. "Frankly, I don't think she's got any choice in that circumstance but to resign," Ms. King said on RN Breakfast. "If she's not willing to resign, then I don't think Malcolm Turnbull has any choice but to step her down from the front bench." Ms. Ley hasn't detailed what ministerial duties she was undertaking during the New Year jaunts. However, a spokesman for the minister told the Telegraph the lack of a media release or speech didn't mean she wasn't working, and that she undertakes extensive meetings with doctors and patients on many trips. Ms. Ley has asked the finance department to do an audit of all her Gold Coast trips. Ms. Ley had pledged to pay back travel expenses associated with the May 2015 trip, where she bought an apartment, and costs associated with several other journeys in 2014 and 2015. In a statement on Sunday, Ms. Ley said she had decided to stay on in the Gold Coast on the night of May 9, rather than incur considerable extra expense by flying back to Albury and then to Canberra the following day. She said the travel was within the rules, and while attending an auction wasn't the reason for her Queensland visit, she understood it changed the context of the travel. "I have spoken to the Prime Minister, and he agrees that this claim does not meet the high standards he expects of ministers," Ms. Ley said. "I apologize for the error of judgment." Ms. Ley promised to ask the Department of Finance on Monday to invoice her for the costs of a car and travel allowance claimed on May 9 and the penalty for wrongly claiming. She said she would also seek invoices to pay 2 other taxpayer-funded Gold Coast stays in 2014 and 2015, where I should have stayed and claimed in Brisbane, as well as a June 2015 flight from Coolangatta to Canberra. "In the interests of total transparency, I will ask the department to review all my ministerial travel to the Gold Coast," Ms. Ley said.